Blessings, everyone. It's time for the weekly forecast. I'm just going to invite Empress. Hope we're all having a blessed start. Perfect.
Hey.
Blessings, sis. How are you?
Well, thank you. Very well. And yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm blessed. Cannot complain.
Amen. Amen. I'm just finished clearing my cards. You can do your intro.
Okay, so I want to thank everybody for coming and joining us on our weekly reading. It's quite a powerful week. We've got a new moon, so I'll talk more about that later. As you know, the forecast is just here so that we can really see the energies for the week and we can plan, we can prepare, because Sunday's an important day for that. You know, it's ruled by the sun, so it's always good to set a plan for what the consciousness wants for the week, and this is what we are planning to prepare everybody for. So thank you everyone. Thanks Nads for joining. Lisa, so how's your week been?
Do you know what? How's my week? Do you know what? I've had some really good, some great highlights. I've had some breakthroughs energetically and spiritually. So it's been like facing conflict, but in a different kind of way. Like I handled it differently than I ever have done, and I was so proud of myself. I was like, that really me. Usually I would kind of have to kind of sit with the energy for a little bit longer before I let it shift. I just felt like this amazing calm come over me, and I just was like, do you know what? It's what it is, you know. It's cool. It's cool. Do you know what? What is this about? It's just going to promote me to take some kind of action, you know, put a light of fire underneath the, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
a fire was lit. There was what's the word for it? What's that word? There was like a real peaceful resolution in it. So is, you know, although there was conflict, there's peaceful resolution in just kind of watching how everybody manages things, and they're just having to say, well, I don't actually have to manage things in any particular way for anybody. I don't need to be drawn out. I don't need to be, you know, so I feel good. I feel accomplished, people. Yeah. I want to really like harness this level of that was going on, because listen, certain times, as everybody knows, it ain't no joke when you're trying to level out your ish. So for me to just be like step into it all kind of, you know, supernatural, like it felt very powerful. You know what I'm saying? It's like I stepped out of my body, you know, the way there, higher self was like, I'm gonna take over. Back up, Charlene, back up. And I was like, okay, Miss Lady, I'm gonna let you do your thing. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Thanks and praises. And what about yourself?
Yeah, no, I'm good. But I wanted to say that's actually so in alignment with what's going on, because we have that whole Mars-Venus conjunction going on. So it is all about finding peaceful or beautiful resolutions to the conflict that is going on. So it's good to see when, you know,
I love that.
It's actually happening when we're seeing it, because the same thing happened for me as well. You know, sometimes you have to learn to push back with certain things and be like, nah, it don't run like that. So, but finding a positive way of doing that is always good. So it's glad to see that these lessons are really coming through. For me as well, I'm trying to be consistent. You know, that's my thing. I want to be consistent with what I'm doing and connecting with people. So I can be terrible. I can be like in myself. So this year,
I relate to that.
This year I said, no,
I think it's a part of the inner time vibe as well, you know?
That is it. So it's the end of my year, you know, because my new year starts in March. So I'm just prepping for what I'm going to be doing for the next year, and big things are coming. So I'm excited about that.
Amen. Talk the things, yes, I love it. I love it. So, guys, welcome to the weekly forecast. I love these little reflections, you know, before the reading. Like you said, it just affirms the work that's been going on in the background, you know, because people see us pop up. Because now you're doing every day, I see your messages every day, which is wonderful. Do you know what I mean? I post every couple of days as well. So it's like a benefit of actually being able to get a little bit of an extra reflection on, you know, the work that's been doing in the background. So I quite like that. So yeah, I'm digging the reflections, and let's get into the energy, people.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So let's find out what the energy for the collective is. And before I even begin, let me just put it out there. So these messages are very, very genuine. It will not resonate with everybody. However, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And remember that certain things, if they don't make sense right this minute, they will soon enough. You know what I mean? Or for somebody else. You know what I mean? So, you know, you take it as it resonates. I always say, like you said at the top of the reading, this is just a little bit of an extra, oh, look, this could happen and that could happen. You can step into this if you'd like, or you can sit back and watch it go by. It's entirely up to you. These are just options, but just reading the energy. So go with it, and yeah, let's keep it on. So, what's going on? What's up from the reading? What is the overall energy? What is the overall energy? Ooh, you see that one pop out there? Intuition. Well. I'm not surprised about this one. This old chestnut. This word gets thrown around so often and in quite loose terms sometimes. And the reason why I say that is because I've got this energy of, you've heard it all before. See, I've heard it all before. I was like, oh, just listen to your intuition, just listen to your gut feeling, you know, and sometimes it can kind of give off this whimsical kind of energy, like, you know, just trust your intuition, you know, dig deep, you know, what feels good inside. And while that's all well and good and actually factual, it runs so much more deeper. We don't recognize what I'm saying is to recognize the cellular level, the things that are going on internally when you're getting these messages. What happens to your body? You know, where sweats? What happens? The hairs on the neck stand up. You know, itchy palms. You know, itchy feet. There's a swooning in the stomach. There are physical things happening for spiritual stuff, and vice versa. So there's always there's no smoke without fire. You know, so it's that kind of energy. It's going to be presenting itself for something. So mind out, you know, wow. And I know sometime in there, sometimes they come and talk a little bit harsh, you know, but mind are going, you know. That's how they're saying it. Mind are going, and remember that our intuitions are leaning into us to actually step into our power. And that's what's the most beautiful part of it. The messages feel great when you get them, and you're like, when you get that epiphany, like, it makes sense now. That beautiful feeling is part of it. But the part that I really enjoy is the part where I have to work out, what the hell is this for? You know, that's the part where you start to work out how far you are elevating in your reasoning, because it's the power of discernment. It's about being able to pick the sense from the nonsense, and it's all of that. So we're listening to a barrage of stuff. We've got information coming to us left, right, and center. How can you pick what really makes sense to you and what will fulfill you, and what's more like, yeah, that's a blanket statement now. I'll take this because that makes sense to my life. And that's kind of how we have to kind of play this role of our intuition, not just a thing of, you know, it sounds good. And just sort of using the blanket terms, you know, I'm hearing here. So let me just find out what that was about. Because the way they came in with that was like, this is what I'm saying. And sometimes I'm like, oh, okay. Because obviously I'm being spoken to too. So I know, you know, in even in, like I said last week, Darryl, when I was saying about, you know, the technology just deciding to say, no, you're not going to do what you had intended, because there's something else. And when I was able to really sit down and what that something else was, it was so needed. I could have really pushed through. And okay, sure, I'd have been fine, you know, because we bounced back, you know, we're made to do this thing. But I would have missed out on this sense of calm. I would have missed out on the moment of just self-love and reflection. Sometimes you can just steamroll through life and yeah, you're ticking off things off the box and you feel like, yes, you know, but there's a moment where you have to stop to internalize what's happening, ask those questions, and your intuition is never ever going to be steering you where you don't need to go. It's always going to be a lesson for you. So it's yeah, this reading makes a lot of sense of what's going on for me at the moment as well. So right, cool. So why this has come up, and this is the reason, and it makes sense now, because I was feeling like, what's this kind of murky energy? Because what the devil energy? Now, when the devil energy comes up, it's just to do with the excesses, you know, mind the excesses, you know, and not to be so far off the left when emotions stir up. You know, this is where, you know, that thought of, it's about battling that lower self energy, that can we really do this? Are we really suited to this particular task? You know, who do you think you are? A bit big for your boots. You know, them ones when you get them voices, you're just like, oh no. And you start feeling a little bit apprehensive, a bit hot. You know, you start, you know, scratching at your neck like, "Rah, but for real, this is a big deal. You know, I'm going to be out there, like fully out there." So it's about really checking to see what the spirits, you know, what are the energies talking about, and check that energy. My dad always used to say, check the spirits to see which one is right. Yeah, nothing that's of the Most High is going to diminish you, you know, like going to take you out of, you know, who you are as a child of the Most High. It should never make you out of, because you're never ever out of the energy. That's what we're trying to make you understand. Although you may be off your course slightly, you may feel, or you might have to deviate a little bit, you're never outside of the real protection of the Most High, and the protection of the Most High is love. So as long as that's what you're emanating and putting out, and that's what your general ethos is, you're never really quite outside of it. It's just little bits of fine-tuning, and your intuition will help you along the line, you know, but don't go there. Take a break from this. Don't answer the call today, you know. Back up, take a seat, you know, go, you know. And it's all those kind of energies that start to kind of create a sense of autonomy and purpose. And you know, you get that fired up energy, like, yeah, for real, I run things not run we, you know, them ones there. It's that kind of energy, you know. So I like that. And then we've got the star card, and the star card's talking to us about our hopes, and recognizing that we have the spiritual support. The star talks about hopes, dreams, our wants and our desires, and it's talking about those things, those feel good, yummy, yum yum feelings are there for a reason. So if it's yummy, yum, yeah, man, go for it. But remember, this devil energy is here. So I have to honestly say, when the devil energy is next to yummy, yums, we've got to be very careful. It's a balancing act. This is why discernment is necessary. So enjoy, but don't take it too far. Yeah, enjoy yourself, but remember who you are. You know, remember you are a child of Most High first, and we're here to explore, yes, but remember who you are, and your intuition will give you that energy of, is this energy right? Do I feel right in what I'm dealing with? You know, so really move with that energy. Let's see what the vibration is around our more intimate relationships, because like I said, our intuition is across the board. We get intuitions across everything. But I think sometimes what I'm hearing is sometimes with matters of the heart, sometimes we are nervous about whether or not our feelings are connected to real fear, or whether we're feeling what we're feeling, if that makes sense. I think, say it again for me so I can say it to the people that sounded a bit waffly. Yeah, so I've got some funny ancestors around me today. They turned around and said to me, you see, when you're in love and sometimes you just turn fool. So that's what, so sometimes we can turn fool. And it doesn't mean that we're devoid of any kind of intelligence. But sometimes our emotions lead us so far out of our logical mind sometimes that we have to kind of take a step back and be like, all right, whoa, 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 whoa. So I'm loving this ride that we're on, but okay, I need to take a breather. I need to see what's going on. It's moving a bit quick, you know, wipe your face, it's a bit sweaty, you know, move it back up a little bit. It's that kind of energy. So I'm getting just to allow the energy to flow, but remember to take that time for yourself. And I think your intuition will let you know when it's time for just a little respite, a little headspace. The remembering what you're on the mission. You know, sometimes you can get comfortable and, you know what I mean, the mission gets pushed back. We can't have everything sweet. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the energy. Well, quite a few things have come up. So I feel like this is for a number of people. So take it as it resonates. So we have like this true love energy. Yeah. This is the romance of a lifetime. Like I said, some of you are in this beautiful energy and it's like, oh, it's sweet, sweet, sweet. But also the devil energy is playing a little bit of a tricksy poos on you at this time with what you really want and what you're seeing. So remember that although things may not look exactly perfect, there's a reason why you're around this person and why this person is possibly challenging you. We've got deception. Remember what we said last week about being genuine and authentic? Again, it's coming up again. So sometimes I think it's just a counterbalance. And this is what they're saying to me. When they're talking about someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship, it's not so much a devious energy. It's just, can you really, really be yourself though? You know, maybe it's still that early days and I don't want to let out all my crazy yet. I just have to let it out piece by piece because, you know, some people can't manage, you know what I'm saying? Small dose until you're just ready to unleash the realness. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like this energy is not as sometimes as it comes up, and it usually comes up as like a deceptive energy. Because let's say deception, but I don't feel, and I'm not hearing that it's a real deception. I just think it's not fully comfortable as yet. So use your intuition when it's that time to kind of home in on that togetherness energy. We've got trust. So trust is being built right now. And I think that's about when you feel comfortable to let loose. Again, feel comfortable, have those deep conversations, those bonding kind of things. Is it right to kind of let people know that part of me yet? Are we at that stage in our development? That type of thing. This situation is calling you to have faith. So yeah, have faith in where it's taking you, especially if it's making you more vulnerable, because that's another way we can strengthen our intuitions and our spiritual growth, moving with that energy, not being so, what's the word for it, nervous, so much nervous so that you're not even able to allow the energies or the natural rhythm of things to take hold. You know, sometimes it can be a bit rigid. So allow that situation to unfold naturally. It's like a faith in, regardless of what's going to happen, it's for us. It doesn't really matter. It's cool. And then we've got chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. So yeah, man, like I said, enjoy the yummy yum yums. There's a reason why there's this magnetic, excuse me, energy here. We've got the star, so it's around our hopes, our desires. But like I said, balancing that devil energy. And remember, the devil energy is not necessarily just about our negative thoughts and our negative feelings. Sometimes it's about excess, overthinking, over drinking, overeating, over whatever, anything you can do over. Yeah, this is what it kind of represents. And then lastly, children. Your love life is being affected by children. So at this time, it may be a time to have those little heart-to-hearts. How are you feeling about how things are going? You know, the changes are happening. Are you okay with these changes? I want to make sure that you feel comfortable and integrated. I want to, you know, it's that kind of energy. So have those communication with little people in your lives. But overall, it's just an intuition energy. And remembering that it's about having that faith in whatever's going on, it's for you. And to allow it to kind of flow, really. Lastly, let's find out what the angels have got to say, and then I'll hand over.
Quickly, before you move on, Empress, I think that we got a question put through by Nad, so let's see if this works.
Right.
Can you see it?
Yeah, go ahead. This is good. Yeah. To Empress, the devil card, is it necessarily about new love relationship or new projects? Right. So in regards to the devil energy, it's this card just speaks of anything that's to do with excess. Let me bring the card closer. You can see that this man's got this person like a puppet. So it's about not allowing anything that you're doing to take you over so much so that you don't feel in control of. The emotions are taking you so outside of yourself that you're not making any decisions. You don't trust yourself to make any decisions, or you're just going so much with the flow that it's taking you over. So it's about not being played like a puppet, but using these energies for your betterment. Any kind of negative energy is going to, it can be propelled into something else. Use that energy to put into changing something, you know, redefining something, you know, stepping out of your comfort zone. Use that energy. Negative energy is not something that we need to run away from. Lean into it, turn it into something, use it. And that's the kind of energy what's going on, but don't be taken in by it, because sometimes when we're in our self-pity thing, this devil energy, we can sit down and have this bath here and just, I know it's so, and they will give you so much information and so much memories and so much stuff that you can sit down and have this energy for a long time, you know. Listen, I can tell you from experience that sometimes this devil energy can hack you, yeah, outside of this beautiful energy, knowing that, what do you mean? I'm guided and protected me, I worry for. You get me? I'm just excited to see what's going to happen next. See what the ancestors have got thrown out for me, see what the universe has got me, you know, trodden on. And that's, you know, the beauty and the excitement that we're supposed to have in this thing, not to be so worried, but to just be mindful. That's what the intuition's about, your discernment. You get what I'm saying? Balancing. So I'm loving that energy. I hope that answered the question, my sweets. You know. Okay, I give thanks. Well, I like the fact that that came well done, Daryl, for the bringing up the old question.
Yeah, we loved it.
I love it. So lastly, bear cards are coming out, but I just feel like it's for whoever, whenever they get this message. So before you make any big decisions, just get some more information. Make sure that you feel comfortable. Have that, you know, really talk things out, write things down, dot the I's, cross the T's, you know, but overall enjoy. But get more information. Improving health, I think we had that one again. So take some time to ensure that you are looking after the vessel. Yeah, make sure you're looking after the vessel, your mind, everything that's connected to us, our etherical body, our, you know, the energy field. Take some time looking after yourself here. Trust in the process again. There we go. Trust in the process. Trust that all is well. You are being stretched. It's up to you. There you go. Like I said, we're just here to just give some insight. The energies that's picking up. You know, it's up to you what you do with it. It's up to you what you want to do, essentially, and that's what the autonomy energy is about. You know, so use it to your advantage, peoples. Listen to your intuition. Again, there you go. If it wasn't, if you didn't hear me the first time, you're going to hear it again. Listen to your intuition. And then very, very lastly, ask your angels. Again, they want that interaction. They want that communication. They like to play. Yeah, they like to play. So yes, my lovelies, that has been the energy. And yeah, hand over to Darren.
Wow. So I think this one's going to be a little bit different because there was so much things that you said that were so in alignment with the gate that opens this week. I thought I was literally I was going to break down what you put in and then ascribe it to the things that are happening during the new moon. It's the only major one that we're having this week, or the only major transit we're having. But you know, as people of nature, we understand that the moon cycle affects us more than any other cycle. In astrology, they're like gates that open to us. This particular gate is extremely powerful. So yeah, I'm just going to try to mix and match it up. I was writing notes. You'll see me looking down. It's like, okay, this is scarily in alignment. So let's dive in. So, you know, about the intuition, the new moon that we're having is in Pisces. So if there was any sign that could represent something like the intuition, it would be Pisces. Because when you think of Pisces, it's about the transmutation of emotion. So changing emotion from one form to another. That's why they're quite outside of the box. You know, they don't see boxes because they're always changing the feel. And so when you have a new moon, they're there. Think of the new moon as the sun, so being the higher self. And then you've got the moon, which is the body, the part of us that does the work. And imagine there's like a table, and this table is a round table. It's called the zodiac. And so the new moon is when the sun and the moon sit together and they have their meeting. And they say, okay, this is what we need to do for the next month, right? Until we meet again at this particular point when we're next to each other. And so when you're talking about the transmutation of emotion, and your new moon then is talking about transmuting the lessons and the feelings that we have been collecting over the last 12 months, because the first sign is Aries, and it's transmuting those lessons into our consciousness so that we can move forward. Now, this happens every year. And so, you know, the fact that you pulled out intuition first was amazing, because this is the gate that is opening. But there's other things that you said. For example, the devil card came up, which was about excesses. So on that day, you've got Venus, Mars, and Pluto conjoining each other in Capricorn. So
and that's the devil energy card.
Yeah, which
makes sense.
would represent that. It's the darker sides of us are going to be coming to the surface, especially when it comes to our love and our energy. These things are going to transform this year. I think this is transforming us into the people that we need to be for the real start of the age of Aquarius that's coming, because we're still going through the phases. And so this is like, okay, you're going to build something, because it's all in Capricorn. It's about, again, your health, your finances, discipline, order, how you are in society. And it's how far do you go? This is what it's going to ask you. How far are you willing to go to create what you need to create? And if you are going to go this far, it's going to take a lot. We're going to have to give ourselves a lot. The universe is not asking us to live fully hustle lives without full blessings moving forward, because we're in a new phase. It's like money is coming in abundance. The health that you need is going to come in abundance. Anything that you need will come in abundance. But you need to build. You need to control the energies. The masculine, which is Mars, and the feminine, which is Venus, right? So one is what we're attracted to and what we find beautiful, like the inner angel within us. The other one is the inner beast, you know? So you've got love versus, and when I say love, I'm talking about unity, spiritual connection to something. And then you've got lust, that physical desire for something, are together with Pluto. Pluto is about connecting to spirituality, and they're exact. So when I say they're conjoined, they're exact in that time, at that time. So it's really talking about the myth of when, I think it was Bethsemane, who represents Venus, goes into the underworld, and she has to shed the 7 chakras, or the 7 items that she had. And she's taking that journey into the underworld, which is the darker side of what we find beautiful. And then it's learning how to stay there, kill it, you know, like rebirth yourself at that moment. Tell yourself what you want to be rebirthed, because this is what you put out into the universe, because it's a new moon. You tell yourself, I've been doing this too much. This is dealing with me, the darker bits. We put it all in there, our desires, our wants, what we're willing to do. And we say, this is the month where we transmute that into the energy we need to put the work in to create, like what you was talking about, the star card, right? Which is about our hopes and dreams. Because we also have Neptune, which is in Pisces as well, which is coming into a conjunction with Jupiter. So again, that's about the highest aspects of our dreams. If you think about Neptune, it was the god of water, you know, pitchfork. What does that mean when we think about it spiritually? From my own understanding, this is like the collective emotions of our planet in our solar system. That's what it represents. That's the archetype, right? Because it's about dreams and illusions. So imagine connecting to 5 people's dreams. Dreams are people's own subconscious. Illusions are going to naturally be a part of that. So when Jupiter joins that, which is about expansion, it's opening up us to this higher realm and saying, you can draw from this during the new moon, but you need to learn to transmute and what you need to transmute during this time, because it's not going to be easy. And so, again, talking about our relationships, and that's what we would be bringing, because Pisces is where Venus is exalted. So it's the best place for love. So love will be coming to us. Everything that we need to transmute the energy will be coming, but we also need to make sure that we do the work as well. This is why there's a lot of planets in Capricorn. So it's about finding the discipline, the structures to achieve what we want. Because you've also got Saturn, which is in conjunction with Mercury at that time. So Saturn's about structure, discipline. And then you've got Mercury, which is about our thoughts. So our minds will be quite structured, or should be, quite structured at this time. We might be feeling recently, we're all kind of planning, saying we want to do this, we want to do that, because Saturn, which is about discipline, about structure, is joint with Mercury, which is about our thoughts. And so what happens when you mix that all together, right? We have this like plethora of things, like all within basically 3 signs. You've got all of the planets besides Uranus are in 3 signs at the moment. And so what it's saying to us is that when it comes to society, because you've got Capricorn, which is the discipline, when it comes to us as individuals, right, which is Aquarius, our minds, our ideals, being ourselves. And then when it comes to the emotions and the faith that is required, all 3 of those energies are quite high at that moment. So we can tap in and then really work out what we need to cut, what we need to start over the next month, so that going into the next new year, when the spring equinox, then we can start thinking, okay, cool, how do we then start acting upon this will? That's when you'll have the new moon in Aries, but we'll do another live closer to then. So yes, that's just what came to me when you was speaking, because there's quite a lot of energy going on. So yeah, everyone, I really hope that helped. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in as well. But what was your take on that as well, actually?
Wow. Listen, you see what it is, yeah? Like I said, we've got to get to a stage where we're not even marveling at the energy no more. Mm-hmm. It's just like, yeah, man, I see him. So one day I'm going to get there. But at the moment, I'm still in marvel zone. And I think it just allows me to remember that energy of testimonials. And I've had this energy around, we've had this conversation around testimonials for the last couple of days. Like when I'm talking to different people, it's like, this is what we're doing. We're testifying of the things that we're going through. What how the Most High is getting us through little things. How we're pushing ourselves through some awkward energies or whatever. And it makes sense, like you said, with this gateway, to all of this stuff, and knowing that it's really a counterbalance. Yes, go for it. It's the abundance is coming in, but sure, navigate this thing in a way that's going to serve you. And the intuition, and from that to be, and we've had that twice. The card came at the beginning and at the end. So it's like, yeah, listen to that. So I'm loving that energy. Oh my goodness. Oh yes, Daryl. That, and you see what it is? I should have been writing it down, but it's all right. I've got the video. I'll make my notes later on, because even though we broke it down at the beginning, like, this is when, the moon and the sun had this conversation. I was like, it makes sense the way you put it down, because it's like, for those who are not in that headspace or understand it, it's so nice the way you just put that down. I thought, that's a very good way of explaining how the energies work and how they say, all right, within this time, this should happen. Give you that time. We'll come back, we'll link up. Right, what have we learned? It's like that kind of reflection, right? So what happened? How did you feel throughout that time? And then it's all that kind of thing. And then what did you learn? And then you go out and make it happen, like you said, when it comes up to that spring energy time. So yeah, people. Yes, Daryl. That was, yes. Very, yeah, man. Yeah, man. This was, yeah, man. This was that. Cookery, I like that one.
It keeps getting better.
Yes. Oh, big up, people. Do you want to wrap up for the people then?
Yes. So, guys, always remember, like Empress says, that this is always subjective, depending on what house it turns up for you, what houses they're in. It will be different phases for you. As always, you're perfect by design. Get readings from us both if you need them, or coaching, you know, or just if you need to chat about what's going on as well. So yeah, you're perfect by design, guys, and we'll catch you again next week.
Amen. Big up yourself. I really enjoyed that.
Same.
Take care, people.
Right.
Blessings, Tarot.